No. Yeah. Hello,
Hey,
everyone. Good day. Uh, good morning, good evening. I mean, whatever time I get to watch this, because there are some people would watch it later. And then also add spotlight. Yeah. Thank you for joining and welcome to this webinar today. My name is Baker from Relauncher Moms, and basically, Relauncher Moms is about helping mothers, basically anyone in particular, but really mothers, women get back to work, to career, to business after they have gone on a break. So most times the break that women usually go on, like a career break, is for care duties, is for building a family, trying to raise kids and all of that. But along the line, they have to or they would like to come back to work, you understand? So that's what we help them do and also come back to business, not just work. Some other people are not cut out for work or career. Some other people are cut out for business and we help them, we give them resources, we offer mentorship, we offer trainings like this to assist moms, to come back to work. So basically that's what we do. Please check us out at Instagram if you haven't heard about us before at Relauncher Moms. And you can refer us to anyone or any mom who is trying to get back to work, and we're sure to help out. The community is completely free, and we've gotten a lot of testimonials. I mean, just today, I said I was going to share a good news on this call. I'm just going to chill because that news made me so happy. But I'm just going to chill until Blessings presentation when we're done with this so that people at the end can listen to it and know that what we're doing here is quite serious. Okay, so today we'll be talking about product management 101. And our guest today is somebody that I really admire. And yeah, she's supposed to be my mentee, but in fact, she's a big girl. I mean, and she's doing so well. And I really love her story. I love her grit. And you're somebody that I'm highly proud of. If you are to call at least top 10 products or female product, managers and specialists in Nigeria, she would feature on it. That's how proud I am of her. And thank you very much, Blessing, for joining us today. So Blessing is a dynamic product management lead at Seldom Technologies and a passionate advocate for product discovery. With a background in physics education from the University of Lagos and software engineering from Semicolon Africa, she transitioned into tech, accumulating experience in product strategy, stakeholder management, and user-centered innovation. Blessing has worked with startups and organizations to define product visions, optimize development processes, and bring in impactful ideas to life. She's the co-founder of the Product Hunt, a community-driven initiative focused on learning, collaboration, and corporate social outreach in the African tech space. She's committed to building businesses, validate their ideas, and build meaningful products. She actively mentors startup founders and product teams. Through her journey, she champions adaptive thinking, intuitive building, and team alignment as the pillars of successful product management. Please let's put our hands together for her. I mean, let's hear the virtual claps. I mean, she's such a big wig in product management, and like I said, I'm so proud of her. She's doing a whole lot of work. So I'll hand it over to you, Blessing. And the floor is yours. I may turn off your camera also so that we can concentrate on your beauty. Okay? You're on mute, yeah.
thank you so much, Ma. I am short of words. I don't even know what to say. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it will be that you'll be watching this recording. I am really, really opportune and so blessed to be here. The reason is because when I met Bakery, I, I think that was my official first speaking event. I went with my former boss. She's the Chief Operations Officer at Semicolon Africa. That's Ashley Emmanuel. And I am really thankful to her for that opportunity and getting to meet someone as, you know, influential as Bikiri for me was an opportunity. And I began to even ask myself, wait, to see somebody like me, eh? God, you're so gracious because and in the midst of it all, I was praying to God that Father, give me the wisdom to be able to handle relationships so that I can position myself to make the impact I want to make and not be restricted by anything. And it takes some level of wisdom, it takes some level of humility, it takes some level of revelational understanding from God. I'm a Christian, so I would always make reference to God. So I'm going to dive in real quick because we have just 1 hour to touch a very important aspect of technology, and that's product management. And I'm going to share my screen. And the moment I start sharing my screen, I would, take us through some of the things I've put together. But before I do that, I love to interact. I love to, get to know the people that I'm talking with, no matter the number, actually. And the reason is because I told myself something at some point when I started going out to speak that we are humans. And I did physics at the physics education at the University of Lagos. So there's some aspect of quantum mechanics that I understand and how that at the most granular level, we are the same. We are very, very similar. So I would love to resonate at a frequency where I can understand you, you can understand me, you know. I don't just want to be talking. Yes, let me put it like that. So please let us, do ourselves a favor. Let us introduce ourselves in the chat box. I would love to get to meet everybody. Just very, very quickly, we'll do this for like 2 minutes while I try to, share my screen. Please share, introduce yourselves to us. Just send, something in the chat box, and I'm just going to read out our names and say welcome. It's great to have you here. So I'll be expecting our names in the chat box, please. Thank you so much. Trying to see. Yes, I can see. Thank you so much, Ma, for introducing yourself again. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate you, Ma Bikiri, for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, Olamide. It's so great to have you here. You're an event coordinator and the hair care product formulator. Um, yes, it's so great to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Omolayo Itinola. Your product manager at Payzip. Nice. It's so great to have, a fellow product manager here. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, you're in Lagos. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Ife Dalapo Ogunlulu. You work for Hux Legal as a human resource personnel manager. It's so great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, just to be sure that everyone can see my screen, I would just love to get maybe like a thumbs up or a yes in the chat box that we can all see my screen. Awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna just dive right in. Um, please give me a minute. Okay. Okay, so I've titled this Empowering Your Career Through Product Management. As moms, how does your unique skill, pose as great assets for you how would you transition into product management, knowing fully well that your background might not necessarily prepare you for what it is. So I'm just going to share very briefly about myself and how I became a product manager. So I started out as a student at the University of Lagos, and the COVID came as a strike for I think 8 months came, and I had to defer school at that point. Why? I needed to work so that I could be able to fend for myself, and at the same time I just knew that I couldn't wait till the end of my university days before I can start working. The world does not work like that anymore. So I said, what will I do? Thankfully, because God is a very intentional father, he began to order my steps, and I got introduced to tech. I went to Semicolon Africa. It was hectic. The curriculum was rigid, and it was very, 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 very tight. It was demanding. But thankfully, you know, and with the help of the people that my cohorts, we got to scale through that learning process. Then I did a little bit of coding, and I really understood the fundamentals of writing the lines of code that make the magic happen. So I then went on to ask myself, do I want to be a code monkey? I know my unique skills. I know the way I operate. I know what makes me happy. I can do anything, but there are things that come naturally to me. So I began to self-evaluate. I said, what should I do? Okay, awesome. Yes, I'm doing that now. It's not supposed to lag. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to stay here very briefly while I just, quickly run through my journey. So, I told myself that I needed to do something that I found interesting. And I said, what's the closest thing to what I love doing, which is speaking, solving problems. I used to be a debugger when I used to write code. A debugger is someone that looks at your code, your lines of code, and then sees the okay ma, and then sees the stack trace of errors that your your IDE, your development environment, right, is throwing, and you're saying, okay, how do I solve this problem? Why am I having this issue? So I used to love doing that for people. I'll leave my own code base that I'm writing and go and do that for people. So I then said, okay, let me do DevOps. I went into DevOps. I'm sharing all of this because for product management, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. The idea is I will still touch on the key mindsets that I believe every product manager should embrace. There's a lot of them, but I summarize them into two. Somewhere in this slide, we're going to touch on the mindset. So for me, it was okay. It looked like I was jumping from one place to the other, but then I was telling myself, anything I can learn, I would learn. What is it about DevOps that I need to learn? I will learn it. Little did I know that I was going to find myself in product management, where I would have to work with cross-functional teams. Cross-functional meaning that I would work with engineers, I would work with designers, I would work with marketers, salespeople, I would work with business stakeholders, people that were sharing their needs, irrespective of what the customer is saying. So to just sum it all up, I found myself in product management. I interned for 3 months at Semicolon Ventures. Semicolon has two arms. There's the Academic Institute, and then there is the Ventures, the lab. We call it Semicolon Lab. That's where we build products for clients. We build in-house products, and we build for clients also. So I found myself there interning, and then eventually I went on to be employed full-time as a product manager, and I've been there. I was there for more than 2 years, and then I resigned, and then I joined Seldom Technologies as their product lead, and I've been working with Seldom. We are currently at our beta testing phase. Seldom is a startup. I deal mostly with startups because I strongly believe in the power of Africans being able to solve the problems that are imminent. So it's awesome that already established organizations are doing what they have to do and are making strides. I strongly believe in startups. I believe in the right guidance. I believe in just saying the right things to them, giving them the right advice, and connecting them with the right people. So Seldom Technologies is at our beta testing phase. We are talking to customers. We are we are testing, we are getting feedback. It's an iterative process and it's fun. It is stressful, but it is fun. I'm going to be real in this session. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very, very real. Product management is not beans. Anyway, let me move to the next slide. So why is product management perfect for you? Before I move on to answering these questions, I know that we will have some questions for me. Kindly, as they're coming, just dropping them in the chat box. I'm going to go through and answer them humbly. I see, I'm very humbled. This is an opportunity for me. I'm very humbled and I'm not taking this for granted. So why is product management perfect for you? I have to acknowledge the presence of the caliber of people that are in this meeting. Mothers, people that have paid the sacrifice of bringing to life another being, bringing to life concepts, ideas, things that realities, manifestations of life that would take them from some certain level of identity to the other level. What I'm trying to say in essence is I do not take for granted the caliber of people that are here. Mothers are very, very, very powerful beings. Just yesterday I was talking to a friend about the various phases that we women have to go through and how that in the midst of all of this, we still need to come out excellent. We still need to be able to defend ourselves. We still need to be able to say, this is who I am as a professional and you should respect me for it without sounding disrespectful or sounding rude. You know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So I give honor to the mothers here. Thank you so much for taking this bold step of, you know, exploring product management. So why is it perfect for you as a mother, right? In product management, there are transferable skills I believe you already have as a mother. For instance, multitasking and prioritization. You just have that sixth sense. You just know how to say this is the first thing that should happen before this one. Oh no, I think we should do this one before this one. It's an instinctive way of operation. And I believe so much in adaptive intuition. I believe so much in being able to trust your mind to, detect things and say, I'm going to make my decision. I have data, I have facts, but at the same time, if it was 70% certainty, it is now 90% because of my intuition. So mothers have very, very strong sixth sense and they're able to prioritize and multitask. They are good problem solvers. Mothers are good problem solvers. Mothers have empathy and they can communicate. African mothers have very unique ways of communicating, but it's still communication. It gets the job done, but communication is definitely, one of the core strengths of a mother. Adaptability and continuous learning. Life just comes, throws this, throws that, and then you just see mothers, they just keep transcending from a phase to another phase, and they just keep learning, they keep on learning. These are skills that would be very, very handy for you as a product manager. And there's a reason why I am forming a correlation between motherhood and product management. There is the product book. It's a book, one of the first books I read when I started product management. Talks about how the product manager is the mother of the baby. The product is the baby. I have cried before. As a product manager, I've cried because I was frustrated that the thing I'm trying to do, that I'm not the one doing, I'm not the one writing the code, I'm not the one doing the design, but I'm the one doing it. It is me that the stakeholders will call into the meeting. It is my head that they will pack all the feedback on. My team members will be there. I've cried before. I've slept and I've dreamt about my product before. So product book talks about how a product manager is a mini CEO and also a midwife, trying to like birth a child. So how is that different from motherhood? I mean, so that's why the correlation is very strong. And if we leave here with anything tonight, is the fact that product management is a calling. Not anybody can do product management. If anybody thinks they can do product management, check how they are doing it. You want to do true product management, you have to have empathy. You have to be able to empathize with the people that are working with you and even the product itself if you want to see it come to life. You say the scripture talks about, calling the things that be not as though they were. There's some level of intentionality that comes with it, and with that comes some level of involvement of your mind. So it's not child's play product management. It's not child's play. It's a very, very, very crucial role. Very crucial role. And it has taken different form over the decades. It has taken different form over the decades. I have had a conversation with my fellow product managers from different companies before, and some of them are saying, why do we even have the role product management? Anybody can become a product manager. Okay. So people say, what do product managers actually do? They don't do anything. Okay. Just get a product manager out of the picture and see the way everywhere will crumble. I'm serious. Everywhere will crumble unless someone steps up and wears the hat. If that person is a data analyst, they have to look for a way to merge data and the data analysis and product management. That's a lot of work. What I'm trying to say in essence is it's a very crucial role. And as mothers, you already have what it takes. Now it is about applying it in a structured, impactful way. A structured and impactful way. Moving on very quickly. Let me just define, see, product management. You cannot define it though, but I'll try. Product management is the practice of guiding a product development from conception to launch and beyond, ensuring it meets the needs of its users while aligning with business goals. I can spend hours on this slide alone, on this particular page alone. The product development, you see, is the practice of guiding. And when you are practicing, what happens? You can only get better. So it means as a product manager, you're actually growing in the art of product management. You never get it right from the beginning. You're doing your job, but your job is so, it evolves because you're practicing, right? You're getting better at it. What are you getting better at? You're getting better at guiding people in building products. The interesting thing about product management is it cuts across different industries, but permits me to, narrow down onto tech-focused products. Tech-focused products. Study the apps that we have these days. There are some apps, once I download and I try to use, the interface alone can deter me from going forward. But the person that built it, or the product manager that managed that, does not know me in person, but they obviously ran some tests, user tests with people. What am I trying to say in essence? Tech-focused products are one of the most tricky types of products to build because you can't talk to the entire masses at once. Take a fraction of the people that would use it and talk to them, get feedback from them, and trust that everybody loves your product and everybody can use your product. It's a lot of work. So you take the entire development process from conception to launch and beyond. What does beyond mean? It doesn't stop at launch. As a matter of fact, that's where the work starts. You want to be sure that adoption is there. You want to be sure that retention is there. You're able to retain customers, And at the same time, you want to ensure that it meets the needs of its users. My goodness, that one is crucial. If you build a product that does not meet the needs of your users, you would have wasted time and resources. That's why Eric Rice, the author of Lean Startup, it's a book that I really love so much, talks about waste management, right? And how that you can cut down on expenses by, rapidly building, getting rapid feedback, building in bits, taking it out, getting feedback. We'll touch on that. So product management is sweet. And in summary, this is the definition of product management. Moving on very quickly. And please, if you have questions, I know we have questions, please let us drop them in the chat box, so we can address them. Hopefully, I'm able to cover all of this in an hour. So I said to myself, why not include the definitions from industry experts, people that have gone ahead of us, people that are doing great stuffs. How have they defined product management? I'm going to read through very quickly. Marty Kagan is a partner at Silicon Valley Product Group. He's the author of Inspired. Inspired is a book that I recommend everybody that is interested in product management should read. It's a great book. It's a great book. It's a great book. It's a great book. So Marty Kagan says product management is about discovering a product that is valuable, usable, and feasible. The words I'm highlighting, they are essential because these are the key determining factors of whether or not your product is going to be accepted and whether or not it solves the problem you want it to solve. Discovery coach. She's the author of Continuous Discovery Habits, and she has defined product management to be a continuous process of learning, discovery, and iterating. Similar to motherhood, it's a journey of learning, experimenting, and constantly improving to achieve better outcomes. I want to take a quick break here. The reason is because I want to talk about now we have artificial intelligence. Do you know the amount of problems that are being solved via applications? The process of using applications to solve your problems very quickly is a blessing. Is a blessing. And the moment you begin to realize that you can be a part of it, a solution that solves a lot of problems, then we are getting somewhere. The question is, do you think you can be a part of the solution the solution to people's problems? It's a mindset thing. So we are problem solvers. In our educational system here in Nigeria, I've not been to other African countries, so I can't say for a fact. But I can talk about Nigeria and how that the way I grew up, the kind of school I went to, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6. I mean, these are awesome. But the the mindset of saying I'm a problem solver, even from the young age, from the cradle stage, is not there. We are not wired to think about solving problems. We are not wired to. We are not wired to. That's why you see a lot of foreigners come to Nigeria and they're making it. Why? They are seeing problems and they're happy. They want to solve problems. But we see problems and say, Lord of Jesus, what is this? What is this? Which kind of wahala is this? To them, it's opportunities. So first off, I think we need to look at our wiring fundamentally. When we wake up every morning, we think about ourselves. How can we be better? How can we have much more investment opportunities? How can we grow ourselves? How can we yield wealth for our generation unborn? Because I'm sure nobody here is thinking for just themselves alone. They're also thinking about their children and their children's children. It's also, but how about the rest of the world? That's why we do product management. That's why I love working with startup founders. Because they're thinking about the rest of the world. And if we're in this meeting, and we are not thinking about the rest of the world, then that means this thing I'm saying, it might not be of much value to you. Yes. Why product management? Why? You want to solve problems. I'm laughing because somebody at the start of my career, someone asked me, what is product management? The ability to solve problems. And the person was just laughing. Because I mean, to this person, there's so much more, but that was what I understood. That was what drove me there. I want to be able to solve problems. I want to be able to solve problems. Do you want to solve problems? Do you want to be able to solve problems? Do you want to see situations around you in the community and start thinking of ways to solve them from the smallest occurrence? You are intentionally seeing problems, and instead of seeing them as challenges, you're seeing them as opportunities. That's the first mindset shift I think we need to have. I believe we need to have. We need to start seeing little problems as opportunities. Then your mind will begin to think of ways to solve them. Begin to think of ways to solve them. Begin to think of ways to solve them. This is the fundamental nature of a product manager, a problem solver. And that's why, as moms, I would say I'm tapping into the into the anointing that is in this place. As mothers, we have that inherent nature of solving problems. It's inherent. So now that's why if we go back here, I said you already have what it takes. Now it's about applying it in a structured, impactful way. Are you making impact already? Yes, you are. Can you make more impact? Absolutely. You need to be able to hone your skills in a structured manner. Why do I feel like the rate I'm going, I'll spend 3 hours here? I don't want to offend my Bikiri. I don't want to offend her. So let me move very quickly. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Please comment to the chat box if you understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say in essence is we need to change our mindset. We need to be able to say, these are problems around me, but they are not challenges. They are opportunities. They are opportunities. The fundamental mindset of a product manager is very important. It is very, very important. So, it is very important because let me let you in on the secret. When you start working with development teams, you won't just be solving the problem that comes with building the product. You'll be solving the problem that comes with working with people. You'll be solving the problem that comes with working with difficult stakeholders. Hell, some stakeholders will force you to just want to, resign. I'm serious. So without the right mindset, if you change that for person for office, so if you change them, you can change it. I'm serious. You see, so I think we need to first of all have that mindset shift where we say we don't see problems as insurmountable challenges, we see them as opportunities. But I want to know that we're all together. Please do me a favor. Comment in the chat box that you understand what I'm saying, please, before I move on to the next slide. I'm waiting for us. I'm a very patient person. Let it not be that comments are actually coming in and I'm not seeing them. Okay. Kindly comment in the comment section if you understand what I'm saying. I just need to know that we are together. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, now I'm gingered. Let's continue. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you, Olanike. Thank you, Olamide. Can see your comments. All right, moving right back. Yes. Our skills as moms can help us be great product managers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ma, for pointing that out. That's very correct. So moving on very quickly. Yes, I was asking myself, how will you pronounce this guy's surname? I'll try. Ben Horowitz. I tried actually. He's a co-founder of Andreessen Horowitz. And he said a good product manager is the CEO of the product. There is the actual CEO. Don't get it twisted. There's the actual CEO. So you don't call the shots. You don't call the shots. But how are you the CEO of the product? It's a very interesting statement. The reason is because I've witnessed this. I've witnessed it. Where stakeholders will come, you'll be in the meeting room. To come with features, requirements. These are the things we need. You go ahead to say you want to build them with your team, and then issues begin to come up. Issues begin to come up. What type of issues? Technical issues. Oh, the environment is not working. We pushed. Oh, he merged. He pulled. The code is just messed up. We need to go back. We need to roll back. We need to get things done again from this point. Oh, am I able to recover your code base from this real life stuff? And the person that everybody's looking up to is the product manager, not the CEO of the company. It's the product manager, not even the engineering team lead. Because the engineering team lead will be looking at you. It's not that you will solve the problem by going to, they want to see how you're able to manage the situation, how you're able to keep everybody's spirits up. You see. So just like being the leader of a household, a product manager drives vision, sets priorities, makes tough decisions, and ensures everyone is working towards the same goal. There's the people management. There's the ability to make people see what you're seeing. You say, everybody, come on board with me. Think the way I want you to think. See this thing. You see, you're able to say, don't do this one, don't work on this one. And somebody say, no, we need to work on this one, don't work on this one, work on this one. It will take us a step closer to achieving our goals. The instinct thing comes in again. And these are inherent natures of, of a mother. Ken Norton is a partner at Google Ventures. He said a product manager's job is to discover a product that is valuable, usable, and feasible. Discover a product. So that's where product discovery comes in. So it's a sphere, or it's a niche in this sphere that is actually gaining ground, because it is very, very important, especially when you want to pivot. If you're an existing organization, maybe you want to acquire new ground, or you start up and you just want to enter the market for the first time. You want to be able to build a product that is valuable, usable, and feasible. So the product manager's job is to discover that product that ticks these boxes. There are frameworks. I introduce us to a number of frameworks here. There's a whole lot more. But since this, in a way, is like a master class, in a way, we can't touch on everything. But, I have included very, very important aspect of product management in this slide, and it is going to be made available after this meeting. Please download it from Seller. It's free. Just you can scan the barcode. It's going to be at the end of the slide, so you can have access to it. So if you compare product management to motherhood, it just means you're able to understand needs, you're able to plan practical solutions, and you're able to make sure that they can be effectively implemented. In a way, you can see we are saying the same thing over and over and over again. So we'll just move on very quickly. Oh, we have more definitions. I'm just going to run through. Melissa Perry, she's the author of Escaping the Build Trap. She has said product management is the art of ensuring your company achieves its goals through building products that solve problems for your customers. This statement, very contradictory, because your company sets goals for the year and they track them quarterly. It depends on the organization. But mine does track them quarterly. You're able to say, for each quarter, I want to be able to have this key results, OKRs, and you're able to track, success each year. But then again, you're saying you want to be able to solve problems for your customers. Where is that middle ground? How is equilibrium achieved? You'll be shocked. As sometimes stakeholders come with business requirements that does not speak to customer needs. They don't. And it's the product manager that is going to be in that room to say, no, we're not going to do this. At least not like this. Because you're not saying it now, not just on based on instincts now, because product managers have a duty to always interact with their customers. You cannot be a product manager and not interact with your customers. It's not possible. Maybe you should do something else, not product management. It's not possible. You need to empathize with your customers. You need to see through their eyes. You need to understand what they are feeling to be able to represent them in meeting rooms where decisions are being made. You need to. I follow a lady, she's a product manager. Her name is Chloe. I think she's Japanese. Yes. She used to work with, is it TikTok? She's worked for a number of organizations, and I used to follow her YouTube, videos. And sometimes she just goes out to places like cinemas so she can network with people. Her customer, our audience, really, our customers are, scattered across different industries. So she can meet them anywhere. What am I trying to say? She intentionally puts herself out there with the mindset of listening to them tell their stories. You might not even ask too much questions. Your own is you're listening. As a product manager, you're able to listen. That's why, hey, as mothers, permit me to use we have such great advantage because that nurturing spirit is already there. It's there. It's inherent. It is inherent. So you're able to listen. You're able to empathize. You're able to say, okay, this is what this person is communicating. This is this person's pain point. You can understand it. Then the structure, the frameworks now help you communicate their pain points and put them down into documentations. And at the same time, as a product manager, you talk a lot. You have to be able to sit your team members down and say, this is the thing I understand from my customers. This is what I understand. This is how we can solve their problem. You should be able to make them, you should be able to convince them. You should be able to turn them into product missionaries, not mercenaries. We have a lot of mercenaries in teams. I'm quoting Inspired. Martin Kagan talks about, strong teams, strong product teams being product missionaries, not product mercenaries. Product mercenaries will stress you. Product missionaries they will help the ministry. Yes, they will help the ministry. Yes, they will help the ministry. Some of these things I'm saying might not resonate with a number of us. It might resonate with a number of us, and for some of us, it might not. But just follow me. I'm trusting God to, help us visualize what I'm saying. So, as product managers, you want to be able to solve problems for your customers, and you want to be able to help the company achieve their, goals. And it is an art. Melissa says it is an art. It is an art. It's an art. So that means there's instinct, there's logic. You need to be able to mix them together. Martin Erickson, the founder of Product Tank and Mind the Product, says product management is the intersection between business, technology, and user experience. The intersection between business, technology, and user experience. I'm not going to bore us too much, but I feel there's a question that is in our hearts, which is some of us don't have technical backgrounds. All this technology thing, how do we fit in? How do we fit in? How do we fit in? Fine, I did software engineering, right? My technical background is very strong because I love software engineering. I love it. And because I've taken my time to think about how we can be product managers even without having a software engineering background. I can say for a fact that one of the ways you can bridge that gap is to have the mindset of continuous learning. That's one of the mindsets we'll touch on one of the slides. Is to have the mindset of continuous learning. And do you know that your brain is a muscle? It means you can train it to become stronger. So that means you're able to give yourself practices daily that helps your mind become stronger. So what this means is you're able to trap information faster than you used to. Your brain is able to process them faster than it's used to. You're able to make inferences from the information you've gathered. You're able to, there's something we call mental models. I think I can put together a list of books. I should have done this. I can put together a list of books that I think will help us, right? And I'll just share it with the admin group so that we can have access or we can have the knowledge of these books. Mental models, you're able to train your mind in such a way that you can learn anything. You might not become a master at it, but you would understand the basic fundamental principles that govern that particular sphere. Hence, you can have conversations with professionals there. And because you're open-minded and you're willing to learn, you're able to learn and say, this is my contribution. If you're wrong, they will correct you. And with the right mindset, you grow, right? So we can bridge that gap of, I do not have a technical background, by saying, I want to have a learning mindset. I want to be able to learn. I want to be able to grow. I'm not saying you should get a certification in software engineering. No, I'm saying when you're able to work with project teams or development teams, be open to understanding their lingua franca. You want to be able to say, this is the jargon these guys speak. Teach me, and you would learn it. And that's why I said you can train your mind to be able to learn things faster. It's all strategies, right? And it's very interesting. So, business. Some of us, actually, mothers are natural business people, natural business people, profit inclined. You see, so that will come in handy. That will come in handy. I think in addition to this, you just have to learn basic frameworks, around business analysis. Actually, you won't be doing these things yourself, except maybe you're working with startups where in startups you wear several hats. You are the data analyst, you are the next one said maybe product designer. They mistaken product managers with product designers a lot, you know, in startups. The reason is because they don't have the resources to hire every required role. They don't have the resources. So what they do is the product manager wears different hats, and they're like, okay, they're data analysts today, they're product designers today, tomorrow, or they are customer support personnel. See what I mean? But in the standard organization, what you get to do is you work with professionals in this field. So you're working with a business analyst. They're able to give you the reports of the analysis, and you're seeing how it's impacting. You're seeing it how it is impacting your product. You're able to make decisions based on this, insights that you're getting from. I'm using the instance of a business analyst. So technology, you're able to talk to your engineering team lead. They're able to tell you that this product is not feasible. In order for us to do this, it will cost the organization so amount of money. Let me give you a very, very practical example. When you are building a product, one of the things you want to think about is where you host it, especially tech-focused products. Hosting it in the cloud so that it's accessible to people is expensive. Now, if you want to use places like Render or Vercel, be ready to experience latency issue. Network issues, that's what I mean. So things just move slowly. Your users are complaining. So these are some of the costs that you might not know, but you are thinking about them. You're saying, oh, please make so person make the research on how much this will cost us, as a company, so that we can make decisions that will favor the organization. Do you see? So you want to be able to work with the business arm, the technology arm, and the user experience arm. The user experience arm is still really on you as a product manager, right? That's why I said one of the mindsets that you need to have is continuous learning. So you need to read books, like Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman. It's a book that I find really, really interesting because it teaches you principles of, designing. So when your product designer is designing something, you're able to tell them, no, I don't think this should be like this. Why? Based on this principle, because product development teams, their members can be very, I feel like I'm saying so much. And I just feel, I hope it's not information overload. It's simply because there's just so many things in my head that I just want to pour out. right? And at the same time, I'm being careful so that we don't lose the essence of the conversation. The essence of the conversation is, as a product manager, you need to be open-minded. You need to have a continuous learning mindset. So inherently, there are skills that we have as moms that, positions us to be able to become excellent product managers. So
Thank you, Mercy. Because of time, please, there are some questions in the chat, and I also sent you a private message. We are running
okay,
out of time, please. Yes.
okay. All right, I'm checking them out now. Okay. Okay. So how do we get into product management? So there are courses that you can take. Personally, the way I transitioned from software engineering. So what that meant for me was I did a whole lot of personal studying, and with that, I can advise. I'm putting together a curriculum. I could share with us after this meeting, but at the same time, I can recommend Product Dive. Yes, I can recommend Product Dive because it's certified. So we can, look at Product Dive, take their product management courses. Um, so product management and product designing, they are very different. So a product designer is the person that designs the actual interface, you see. Is the person that, if you're going to build a mobile app, is the person that says, this is where this button will be, this is where that button will be, this is how things should, be in place. Product managers can be product designers if they want, but not necessarily. We have that role separately. So product management involves you working with product designers, engineers, marketing team, sales team, data analysis team, if your product is data focused, AI or machine learning team, if your product is also AI centered. So industries that product managers can work, they can work in any industry, the medical sphere, the construction sphere, they can work in the architectural industry, they can work in mm, um they can work in the food, transportation, anywhere. The question is, what are you working on? You're working on building tech-focused products that solve problems in these spheres or in these industries, right? So product managers can work anywhere. They can work anywhere. Okay, awesome. So we have less than 15 minutes. Going to, run through this slide. There's something I want to show us based on, the question that we asked about learning product management. So I had already referred us to Product Dive. Like I said, I'm putting together a curriculum. Of course, I'll make the announcement, and as soon as it's ready, we can easily have access to that curriculum at a certain amount. But product management really have broken it down into 4 phases. The problem discovery, you discover the problem you want to solve, you set the goals that would help you track how you solve the problem. Then product discovery is the process of discovering a product that solves the problem in that space. And then you go on to launch and learn. Launching and learning encompasses implementing that solution that you found, taking it out to the market, and then getting feedback. And then again, you go through the process of discovering problem. Again, it's an iterative process. That's why the arrows are like this, right? It's a cycle. You keep going. So this slide just delves a little bit deeper into each of the steps. So the right mindset for product management, critical thinking and continuous learning. If you notice, this is highlighted blue. I have linked this particular text to the link to where you can download a book, by Calais called Think Smarter. It's a great book for product managers. I thought it would be really, really important for us to have access to that book. That was why I linked the download websites, to this particular text. So as moms, you've already mastered resilience and adaptability. Product management is really about channeling those strengths. I'm not going to say so much about this because of time, but I know we resonate very strongly with this text. You're able to scale through hurdles. You're able to adapt to changing demands of the reality of being a mom. So product management is really about channeling those strengths that you already have. So this activity, because of time, when you download this PDF from Seller, you can walk through this. I called it Think Like a PM, Think Like a Product Manager. Imagine you want to create a tool to help busy moms better manage their daily routines, right? And if you go back some slides, you would see how I brought some frameworks to, helping you to scale through each of the step in the product management, cycle. So those are the frameworks you can use to answer what is the real problem, what would success look like, what features would be most valuable, if you go through each of those steps and using those frameworks there. So it would be great to just, do this, later. So why should you consider product management? It's flexible. You have remote work opportunities, you'll be shocked that a lot of people want product managers, a lot, and they're giving you the liberty to work from home. So it's a very, very, very friendly offer. So leadership potential. Moms are natural leaders, and product managers are leaders, right? Moms are natural leaders, and there's a growing demand for skilled product managers in tech and beyond. Yes, and beyond. It's not just the tech industry. There's a whole lot of industries, just like Becker had asked. You can work in any industry. The idea is you're working with a team that is solving a problem by building tech-focused products, applications, websites, platforms, or even hardware where you have to integrate software, to hardware devices. You can work anywhere really. So there are tools you can explore. This are very very brief information. Atlassian products like Jira, Confluence, you can use them to document. You can use Jira to, manage your teamwork. You can use Miro for representing the flow of whatever product you want to, build. You can also use FigJam. You can use Google Analytics to, understand the data of people that are, if you have launched your products, this one is for people that have launched their products. You want to see the data analytics of people that are coming onto your products and the people that are stopping at certain points, in the journey. Some skills you can develop is your communication skill. Is very important. You need to know how to communicate. Communication is not talking, it's not speaking, it is the ability to pass information and the other person understands what you're saying, and then the person responds and you also understand what they're saying. So understanding is important when you're communicating. Strategic and critical thinking, also very, very important skills that we need to develop. Research and documentation, very important. Team collaboration, I cannot undervalue that skill. It's very important. I don't know if we have more questions. I'm trying to run very quickly. I'll check them out after I run through. So remember, you've already got the skills. Now it's about channeling them for impact and growth. So if we leave here with anything tonight, is the fact that you are qualified. Yes, as a mom, you're qualified to be a product manager. What you need to do now is to put in the work of structuring the skills, channeling them for impactful, results. You want to be able to see your skills have greater impact than what they already have just within the confines of your home. So yes, you're qualified. You're qualified, right? So all this additional information, I feel some people might find this very, very important. Types of product managers. Yes, we have different types. You have technical, you have growth, you have platform, you have AI or machine learning product managers, you have data product managers, you have enterprise product managers, you have consumer product managers. We also have different levels of product management. See, so we have associates, you have product manager, that's someone that is higher than the associate product manager. You have senior product manager, you have lead product manager, you have principal product manager, you have group product manager, you have director of product management, VP of product, that's the vice president of product, then you have chief product officer, right? So yes, I'm just going to stay here for a while. So we can just scan this code so we can have access to this slide. You see, I was jumping a lot of pages because of time, but I suggest we download because there are some texts that are clickable, they will take you to websites where you can download books, and it's for free on Seller. So I'm just going to be here while I quickly check through the chats.
Thank you, Blessing.
Oh.
I've clicked the link just now. I have scanned the barcode. I'll share it with them. I really love what you have sent to us. So thank you. There's a question on internship in the chat. If you could check it, please.
All right, Ma, I will do that now. I just want to stop sharing my screen since we already have the link. Okay. Yes. Okay, please, how and where can I get an internship role? Okay. Okay, awesome. So I know a number of people that would not mind getting product management managers as interns or associate product managers. So I can reach out to some of these people and see if they have, what is it called? Um, you know, what's it called? Slots for product management interns to join. But apart from that, I belong to a community of product managers that I believe you can be a part of. They send opportunities every day to that particular, group. So some of them are internship roles, some of them are senior product management roles. But from there, you can get direct offer. And I can also recommend you to some people that would need product management interns. I can talk to the admin on how we can further, share this opportunity. That would not be a problem at all.
I mean, that's amazing. Blessing, like you're offering her like internships, telling her about the product management communities. And I know that you have such a large network of product managers that you work with. And look, guys, this person you see, she's the head of all the engineers. If she tells the engineering team that this thing cannot pass, it cannot pass. So just look at her very well. She's so good with what she does, and we see that your passion shines through. Blessing. Thank you so much. So, for people who are interested in product management, you should be following her. You should. Blessing, you're in the group, right? You are in our WhatsApp group. Okay, so I'm going to tag her. Later when we're done, so that if you have interest, Olanike, please follow up with her. I want to hear your success story about you getting an internship role in product management and also even transitioning into a full-time role. And bless you did not talk about how highly paid that product managers are. You didn't talk about that. I know that they are well paid. I'm just trying to do like a Google search of product manager salaries in the US. So I don't know about Nigeria. Product manager.
Ma, you won't believe that. I was going to include that in my slide, but I was seeing very unrealistic prices. The reason is because it is very relative to the organization. When I started, I think I started as an intern. I started with 150. I started with 150 as an intern. So where I was working was okay. It wasn't a startup per se. So you can imagine where and how much they pay people in actually established organizations.
Yeah.
Maybe like Money Point, InterSwitch, they should be paying close to 200 to 250 for an internship role. Then senior, they pay well, actually. Product managers have money. They pay well.
Blessing, I should be your bestie so that when the money rolls in. But I'm just saying from research I just ran now that and ladies, we're rounding up in like 5 minutes. But I like this conversation. The product manager in the US earns averagely of around 115 and 160K per annum, but that's some bloody money. I'm trying to convert it to naira to blow your minds. Just wait. 160, let's do 160. 1,000 times 150. That's around 248. Hey, I cannot even mention 248 million per year. And so they could earn in the US up to at least even 20 million per month. And of course, based on experience, based on industry and all. And wow, that's really so it's a pathway that we want a lot of our moms to also look into. And let's, like you said, remove that mindset of it's difficult. I have to code. We don't have to code, right? Blessing. Do we have to code?
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh,
You
we
don't
want
have
to
to.
code. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. So please, let's reach out to her and so that she can guide us, further. I have scanned the barcode. I'll share the link in the group. I'm going to tag you. And thank you. Want to hear your success story? Thank you. If any other person needs an internship in product management, please let us know so we can also connect you with Blessing. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Is there any link or how do I connect with you, Ma?
Are you in the WhatsApp group?
For the January launch, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So I'll drop the information there. So, and
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you, Ma.
you. Thank you. You're welcome. So I also quickly wanted to add that I also wanted to add that today I got a message from someone in our community who got a job through one of the links that we dropped. And she got a remote job in the US. And that it pays her in Naira at least 1 million Naira per month. Guys, it's real. So it was one of the links that we dropped in the chat, in the community. And she applied and she got a job. And the job is paying her around 800 USD per month. And before you know, in another 3-6 months, she could be earning 1K. That's like 1.5 million per month. And it's a US company. It's a writing job. It is a writing job. And she said that she got me. I don't even know the particular one that because we just post, right? But I don't even know the particular job description that she applied for, but she told me. So she reached out to me sometime at the beginning of March. She said, oh, that we posted an interior designer job or decorator job in Ikeja or something. But because she just had a new baby, she couldn't go, right? She couldn't attend. And she told them. So I told her that don't worry, if this particular job, she got a call for the interview, but she couldn't go because of her child, because she just had a new baby. I mean, and that's one of the realities of being a mom, right? We need to put others first ahead of us. So she declined she got the interview, but she declined. She said it may not be perfect for her because of her baby. She does not think she may be able to go from Egbeda also to Ikeja or something like that. So I told her, you know what, the perfect fit will come. And today, 3 weeks later, after that conversation, she was just screaming. They just gave her a contract today, and she was screaming about how much she has gotten and all. I may share her voice notes with you guys. You won't know her anything for anonymity, animosity. To make her anonymous, huh? So so please keep applying. And that's one thing she kept saying. She said that she kept applying and she kept applying. If you do not apply, how you're not on LinkedIn, you're not applying. How will recruiters reach you on LinkedIn? If you're not on LinkedIn, right, to poach you or reach out to you, then you're not even applied. I know that it's tiring. Oh, you are getting even me. I don't need a job, but sometimes I go and apply for some roles. And they tell me, unfortunately, I don't even want to cry. And I have job. Sometimes, right? So I want us to take it more serious. And the thing about it is, like they say in sales, increase your chances by increasing your efforts. Increase your number of sales by increasing the number of people that you call. The higher the number of people you call for sales, for instance, the higher your chances of selling. It applies to almost everything. So the higher you apply, or the more you apply, the higher your chances of landing an interview. You only need 1 yes. You only need 1 year for you to get that job. So that's the good news I wanted to share. Congratulations to her. She said she's going to also do a webinar for us on technical writing and writing in the medical field and all of those things. We'll share that later. But this is just to encourage you. Product management is a very lucrative field. That one I know is a very lucrative field. That's why we brought Blessing to come teach us about it. I know that 1 hour or 1.5 hours is not even enough to cover all the topics. But we are really grateful that you were able to join us, and we are glad, that she has put us through, so we have a deeper understanding of product management and how we can venture into it. And of course, even to know that there are even so many internship opportunities and even work opportunities for product managers, even here in Nigeria. And you can even get a remote job, like the other person who just got a job in the US. So thank you, mamas. I don't know, does anybody have any other questions? Before we wrap it up, I thought we'll be done by 8:15. Does anyone have any questions? Or just to say Blessing, thank you. Let's just put some sweet words for her in the chat. Let her know how nice we are here. Please show her some positive vibes in the chat. Tell her thank you for what she has brought our way. Okay. Thank you. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, long weekend, till we are not going to work until Wednesday. Hi, I'm so happy. Yeah. Don't let my employer see this. But anyway, thank you for joining. And please, if you have further questions, you can drop it in our WhatsApp group. The group is open, and she'll take up the questions from there. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your night, ladies. Bye, everyone. Bye, Blessing. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.